Right. I was live a couple of minutes ago and I pressed the wrong button and you couldn't hear me. So, hello again, Amazon Live. I'm back and we're going to continue with what you would have seen, if I had stayed live. And I'm just with the Logitech Capture software, I'm just adjusting my set. Okay. So we're back. We're back on Amazon Live, and all is well. And hello to YouTube. Hello to LinkedIn. And we're going to pick up where we left off. And I was talking about mobile broadcasting. I was talking, though you couldn't hear me, that when I do the mobile broadcast, I actually use a microphone. Okay, you can, he said, you can use the microphone on your camera. Okay, so you've got your gimbal. Yep, you've got your camera. The next thing you need is this, which is a lapel microphone, power microphone. This is the one. This is the one that I use when I go out with Angelica, visiting country houses, castles, and it makes a difference. Having a lapel microphone attached to you whilst you're videoing means that your narration over the video is heard above all the sounds around you. And that's important because you want the people who are watching your video, when you put it on to, just a minute, it's down in the carousel now. This is down the carousel now. And it is today 35.49, which is, let's just check with the iPad. Okay, check with the iPad. It is 41% off today. And thank you for watching me live on Amazon Live. Yeah, it's 41% off today. This is a difference between a video for personal use and a semi-professional video. If you've got a microphone, then you should actually use it. And then basically you're getting high quality audio, which means that the resulting video, you can put up on YouTube. Yeah? And if you put it on YouTube, you're actually showing other people where you've been, and it's a memory that you can treasure. And because you recorded, people have got a narrative to go along with the story, and that's important. So if you're actually going to do some live video with your gimbal, then do have a lapel microphone to actually record the audio, because it makes all the difference in the world between a personal video and a video which can go on YouTube. Now, all my videos, and I can only show you a couple of minutes of each, but all my videos are up on YouTube. If you check my name, you'll find all the videos there together. And thank you. Okay, so I'm going to put my phone down. Okay, over there. And I'm going to come back to the next item on my agenda today. And thank you again for watching me live on Amazon Live. Do appreciate it. And we're going to go to the Oberspot Tiny Camera. Now, you're aware that I have two cameras. Okay, if I take the card off, I don't need that at the moment. Take that card off. This is Lights Action with Stephen. Take two, because the first one went wrong. So I'll come back again. And picture in picture, I'm going to shrink myself. Okay, and there we have it. I'm shrunk. Okay, so I'm just down in the corner, and there is all my kit laid out. You can see the 4-way USB hub I spoke about earlier. You can see the gimbal. You can see the power device, the PAL microphone, and the TP-Link Deco, which is also down the carousel. And Aftershokz headphones, best headphones I've ever had, down in the carousel. And I'm going to move things about a bit. The microphone you can see here is an Audio Technica. Today I'm actually using, and let's put it down, let's move it in the carousel. The microphone that you're listening to is the Elgato Wave 3. And if I move these items out of the way, okay, I'm just going to move them over there safely, including the microphone, which I've got to put away. I'm going to put the gimbal over there. Okay, that's the gimbal gone. Okay, and we're going to look at the microphone. This is center stage, is the Elgato Wave 3 microphone, and it's the one you're listening to now. And if I turn it towards me, you'll be able to hear me a bit better. I was watching, I did a show last November with Krista Bogan and with Alec Dorling and with Rick Glover. And I said to them, bring along your microphones and we'll find out which is the best microphone. And I was there with my Audio Technica, and Alec came along with this, which is the Elgato Wave 3. And I listened to Alec and I thought the sound of that is so rich, that it's so crisp, so clear, that I went after I listened to Alec, and I went and I got the Elgato Wave 3, which is down the carousel at the moment, which I'm moving steadily closer to me. Now, as I move it closer to me, you can hear me a bit better as I get to the optimum position, which is just about there. And if I swivel the camera around, this is a first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that camera and I'm going to swivel it this way. There you go. And that's the Elgato Wave 3 in its optimum position. You can hear me again now. The unfortunate thing is the only drawback with the Elgato Wave 3, when they engineered it, and this is the only drawback, is that they actually put, you can see on top, they put a button and you just need to put your hand over the top, wave your hand over the top, and it switches itself off. This is not good. Okay, I much prefer, and this is the only thing that's wrong with the microphone, it's beautiful sound, but I much prefer having a button to press, so I definitely switch it off. This I have a moment ago switched off by accident whilst I was just moving it. So I'm hoping that when they do the next version of the Elgato, they keep the beautiful sound and everything, but they actually put a real button so that you can't accidentally switch yourself off. You've got lights on the front that tell you when you're live on air, and it goes red when you turn it off. But in terms of being sure that you can't accidentally switch the microphone, because the thing is, if you're doing a demonstration like I am now, yeah, and my hands are moving about, I can accidentally go over the top of the microphone. And if I get too close, the microphone will go off. So that bit there needs a rethink in the next version of it. But in normal use, it's not a problem. And the thing that got me when Alec brought the microphone onto the broadcast was sheer the quality of sound. You're listening to it now. You're listening to Elgato Wave 3. And if I get closer and closer and closer to the microphone, you can tell how great the quality is. But they do recommend that the microphone should be 2 hands away from you. Okay, and it's roughly that. I know you can still hear me. Yeah, it is actually placed. If I go, you can see me here. So the microphone is placed very close to me. Yeah. In addition to the microphone, I'm actually using a piece of software called Krisp.ai. And the Krisp.ai noise cancellation software means that you only hear my voice. You won't hear Angelica teaching in another room. You won't hear the builders outside. You won't hear somebody cutting the grass. You'll just hear me, and that's Krisp.ai. So I'm going to put that in because you've been so kind to come and watch me. If you want the best noise cancellation software that I've used in the last 3 years, it is Krisp.ai. And basically that cuts out all backgrounds. In fact, the latest version tunes just to your voice. So amazing piece of technology. Krisp are always improving their software. And the latest version of Krisp.ai actually is tuned to your voice. And if you're talking to somebody, the only thing that goes through a microphone is a one-sided conversation, because the only thing being picked up with a microphone is your voice. So Krisp.ai, there is a free version of software, and you can just try it out, and you can use so many hours a month of Krisp.ai noise cancellation software. And I'm not here to sell it, I'm just here to tell you about it. And it is the best, whatever microphone you've got, this is the noise cancellation software to have. Krisp.ai, go and check it out. Not now, of course, because we're on Amazon Live, but there is a free version of it. And it just simply works out the box. You can have it on any of your microphones, and all background noise totally disappears. Okay, so that's where we were. I've tidied up a bit. So we talked about, when I cut myself off, we talked about the importance of a lapel microphone, which is down the carousel. And we're talking about, just a minute. Just a second. We talked about the Hohem iSteady gimbal, and I showed you the video of Portsmouth Dockyards. So I can put that back down there, and I can put the microphone down there. Okay, now, just so you know how Amazon Live works, everybody watching Amazon Live is an independent broadcaster, and you are currently watching me, and I am, if not guessed by now, you're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. Now, I'm one of 5 English broadcasters on Amazon.com. Amazon.com, world's 3rd or 5th largest website, and I'm on it. I have a page on it, and I've got 5 shows a week, 9 a.m. Eastern, and you can pop in anytime and you can ask me questions, yeah? Or you can just enjoy watching. And I do appreciate that you take time out of your day to actually watch me. I know it's early in the morning, it's heading for 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at the moment. But thank you for watching. Okay. Now, also I want to say I'm broadcasting using BeLive, and wherever you see the logo, that's BeLive, be.live. You get a free trial, and I work for BeLive. And this is my show, my broadcast on Amazon Live. I'm an Amazon insider, as are my fellow broadcasters, and we all are passionate, really passionate about the items in the carousel. I bought the items in the carousel. I use the items on a daily basis. So you can ask a user of everything that's down in the carousel, the pros and cons. And we just talked about the fact that there is a design flaw in this microphone, beautiful microphone, but the on-off switch is too sensitive. But you can avoid that if you know about it. Okay. And when you're live broadcasting, the last thing you want to do is to broadcast without sound, which I did for 5 minutes of my last broadcast. So I'm staying away from the microphone, and we're going to talk about anything other than the microphone, because I don't want to go lose it again. If you've got questions, then please do ask. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to talk about is the camera that you've already seen. Okay. You know that I can have 2 cameras on screen. Okay. My first camera, bottom right, is Logitech Brio, and the one that's on the desktop there is the Obswap Tiny. And with the Obswap Tiny, I can move it. Yeah, I can pull back, and I can zoom in. I can do all sorts of things with this second camera. I'm just going to move that out of the way, put it somewhere safe. But this second camera is the Oswalt Tiny, and it is, just move that and that, and yeah, okay. It's to show them live, okay, and the plants we talked about earlier, and the TP-Link Deco, and my 4-way USB from Anker to actually have two cameras at the same time. That's the piece of kit, $16.99 down in the carousel. That's how I managed to get 2 cameras on this broadcast. That old-fashioned technology, 4-way USB hub, plugged in, and it's down the carousel. If you scroll in the carousel, you'll find it. But I do want to talk about this second camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that camera full screen. You can still hear me, okay? But if I go here, here possibly, then now you can see me again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the controls. That's it. Okay, there's a story behind that chess set. That chess set came all the way from Cyprus by plane. And I do play chess. If you want to challenge me to a game of chess, please do. But this is the second camera, and this second camera is the Oswalt Tiny. And the Oswalt Tiny is down in the carousel now. And today, the Oswalt Tiny is 10% off. It's only 179, but I say only, right? This is a PTZ camera. Okay, just let me demonstrate to you. Pan, tilt, and zoom. Yeah, it's a PTZ camera at less than $180. It's 720 and 1080p, and it can do some amazing things. This is the most fun camera that I've actually used. It's the Oswalt Tiny. If I take its neck off for a moment, because you can see it in the carousel, I'm going to give you a bit of information about the Oswalt Tiny. The first thing you'll notice, and you're not seeing things, is that my background is moving. Okay, that was unintentional, and it's not going to move anymore until I tell it to. But you could see that as I moved, the background moved, and that's what I'm going to show you in a moment. This is the fun thing about the Oswalt Tiny. Let's have a bit of background information on it. The Oswalt Tiny camera, which you're looking at the moment, PTZ, pan, tilt, and zoom. This was released in April 2021. Okay, it was funded on Indiegogo, oversubscribed. I saw it, didn't subscribe at the time, but I bought this camera and I'm using it now in February. Okay, so I've got used to the camera now. I know how to use it mainly, but it does have moving parts, as you'll see in a moment. Okay, the first thing about it is that it has AI powered framing and gesture control. You have 2 gestures you can do. You can ask the camera to track you. You can ask the camera to stop tracking you. You can ask the camera to zoom in. You can ask the camera to zoom out. Now, I could equally well have used either hand. I'm just demonstrating that you can use either hand to actually work it. It is a full 1080p HD, so it does 720, which I'm broadcasting to you at the moment. It also does 1080p, which is higher than DVD quality, and you can broadcast out to YouTube in 1080p. I am not showing the camera at its best today because Amazon say we can broadcast in 720p. That's what I'm doing, broadcasting 720p. It does have dual omnidirectional microphones. Remember, microphones that pick up everything around you, which is why I use Crisp.ai, just so you can only hear my voice. It has a 90-degree field of vision, but it's on a gimbal, which means that it can move the 90 degrees, and I'll show you that in a moment. Yeah, is the background still moving? No, yes it is. Just a minute. Okay, 90-degree angle, but you can change the 90-degree angle. Okay, and in addition to that, Most cameras now have got low light correction. If you're no lighting in your room, then they will compensate from that, so you can still be seen on camera. And in the latest release of the Allspot Tiny software, which was only a few days ago, they've done face enhancement, which is it's right. Allspot do regular software upgrades, and the latest upgrade means that you can see me. If you see me on camera last week, I'm a totally different person this week, because they've upgraded the face exposure software, and it works. It does work. I'm proving it now. It has got AI powered PTZ. I'm going to show you that in a moment. And it's got privacy. You can actually physically move the lens down so that it's totally private. It's not a slide over as you've got noise check cameras. It's basically, you can tilt the camera and it switches itself off until it's got sleep mode, is what I'm trying to say. The camera will go to sleep. It's got a 2-axis gimbal, which I'm going to, and 3 preset positions. So having 3 preset positions means that I can do this. This is preset position 1, which is my desktop. Okay, this is my demonstration area. We're still live. Okay, there's my iPad. Preset location 2 is switching to me, and I just want you to notice something. If I just go back again, the zoom is different. I'm going to show you the software in a minute, but come to me. Okay, so the camera is now turning to me, and I'm going to go to my 3rd position. Okay, and I just got it pointing at the wall, and I can adjust it. Okay, so you're now looking at a picture of Avebury Stone Circle on the top of my head. Let's take the top of my head out the picture, and you're just looking at a picture of Avebury Stone Circle. So 3 preset positions with this camera, but it also has, incredibly, it is pan tilt zoom, but it has, I just want to get that off screen for a minute. I'll let you into a secret. It has the ability to track you. Okay, now if all goes well, this will work. Just a minute. Let's take this stage by stage. This is live, remember, anything can go wrong. And okay, I think we're in position now. Okay, the thing about this camera is that this camera here will track you, and it will give you headroom. Okay, so it's now tracking me as I move about the room. Okay, so I'm going to move the chair out of the way, and I'm going to come over here, bolted in. This is live. Okay, right, back to the live demonstration. As I move, it's giving me headroom, and this is important. We said earlier in the program I did earlier that headroom is important, and it's adjusting that as I get closer to the camera. But the fact is that I'm now being filmed live and broadcasting live whilst I'm stood up, which means that I can take this, the PAL microphone box, and I can talk about it. Okay, I can also do a little trick. Just a minute. Okay, that's my little trick to actually get myself higher up on the screen. I can talk about items. Now, we know that when you're stood up, as I'm standing up now, and that's my shelf, by the way. Do you want to go over there again? If I go this way? Yeah, okay. When you're stood up, you can project more. Your diaphragm works, it's got full release, and you can be louder, and you can be more expressive when you stood up than when you sat down. And that's basically the thing about this tracking software, is that it will track you as you go around the office. Yeah, and it will recenter. So I'm in the middle of the screen. You'll notice that. And I can move off, and the camera will follow me over to the picture, and I can touch the picture and you can see me doing it. This is all being done live. Now, imagine that you're actually filming a 100-meter race. You can actually tag it to one person and it will follow the whole race. It has a fast tracking feature built in, which means that you can track things which are moving quicker than I am. I'm walking carefully about the office, but it gives a whole new way of presenting. I'm probably on Thursday, what I'm going to do is I am going to present this show. Just a minute. I'm going to present this show. I'm going to present this show stood up. Okay, we're going to have a go at it. It's a different way of doing things. Is actually standing up. But I'm going to present this show on Thursday, stood up. Remember, I'm live at 9 a.m. Eastern every single day. But the thing is that I can pick things up and I can talk about them stood up as opposed to being sat down. So this camera has greater possibilities. It is the most fun I have had with a camera. You can do so many different things with it. And you see, it is tracking me. As I move, this camera is actually tracking every movement I make until I sit down. Yeah. I've never known everything about PTZ cameras, pan, tilt and zoom is true. They are a different world. They open up so many different possibilities. Now, I'm going to show you the software that's controlling this, so you have an idea of what happens when you actually buy it. You actually buy the software from Amazon, of course, and then if I screen share here, I'm just waiting for the screen share to come up. I'm going to bring the software up at the side of me. Okay, I love equipment that comes with software. Okay, and this is the software that comes with the OBSBOT Tiny PTZ camera. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the second one of me, okay, by switching the camera off. And you've now just got me and the software, and I'm going to go picture in picture, and I'm going to go side by side. Then I'm going to change the layout. Just bear with me a second. I actually want to give you a full representation of what's going on. Okay, and I'm going to take the logo off. Okay, so, and I'm going to move myself. I would rather be over here. I've moved myself. Okay, now, this is the software to the right of me, which actually controls the camera. You go to the OBSBOT site and you can download the software and you can then use it to control the camera. This is what we're going to do now. Now, I know that I have on the camera software 3 presets. My first preset, if I press preset 1, goes to the primary location. Yeah. The second preset is me. Oh, sorry. That is live, by the way. Preset 2 is me. So now I'm here and I'm on camera and I'm going to get myself center screen. And then preset 3 is the wall. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is come back to me for a moment. I'm going to destroy preset 3. So I'm going to right click on preset 3 and I'm going to say, well, I'm going to move it first of all. Let's go to preset 3. And this is how easy it is to actually do it. Okay. So preset 3 is up on the wall. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down the wall. Okay. And go this way and go that way. Go here. So I'm actually setting up another preset. Okay, and I'm going to go this way. Okay, so you can see the box in the corner, and there's the box that Elytra light came in. And I'm going around to the door, and I'm going to go up and up again, and keep going up until we've got the rucksack, and also now in the picture we've got the iPad stand, we've got the Under Armour rucksack, and we've got the picture. I'm just going to go slightly further up. Okay, so that's my new preset 3. If I right click on preset 3 and press update, that has become my new preset. So preset 2 is me. Hello. And preset 3 is now this. Just a minute. Possibly. There we go. So that's how easy it is. That's how easy it is to set a preset. You basically use the circular thingy. That's a technical term, isn't it? You actually use that circular, and you can go up, down, left and right until you actually get the angle right, and then you can actually set it as a preset, and it will go there every time you press the button, and then it will come back to you. Okay, now you notice if you're looking at the software at the moment, when I go me, I'm twice magnification, 200%. If I go to the desktop, you see the desktop is only 150 magnification, and I can actually, in fact, I can zoom further out to show you more. So there's my Microsoft Surface Book 2, and I'll zoom back in again to around about 100, back there. So my Microsoft Surface Book 2 is just in picture. So that's how easy it is to control it. If I click the link here, so I'll come back to me so you know I'm talking to you. Okay. If you click the cog there, then you get additional software. I'm just making sure you can see this. In fact, I'm going to go full screen. I'm still here, but I'm going to put this full screen. You can get it to go to sleep automatically. If you don't use the camera for a while, it will switch itself off. Gesture control, we've talked about 2 hand gestures you can actually use. Tracking mode, I've got it in headroom mode, which means that it will always give me headroom on a camera shot. I could go to standard and I'd have to do the framing. I could also go to motion mode, which means that it will do fast tracking. Yeah, I can configure the camera from here. Okay, so I've got the full configuration that I would get with the Logitech camera, and this is the new bit that I talked about earlier. This is face auto exposure, and I cannot believe the difference in the way that I look now as to how I looked on the previous version of the software. So that's the software that comes with the Obswot Tiny camera. You can do so much with this camera. It's not only a desk, it is up on my monitor, but it can go wide angle. It can zoom in and zoom out. It can pan, it can track. This camera has got everything. Now, technology being what it is, there is the camera that you're looking at now, the Oswalt Tiny, is a fully blown PTZ camera with twice zoom. Okay, 1080p and 720. There is a new Oswalt camera. If you click link in the carousel, it will take you off to the new Oswalt camera, which is Oswalt 4K, which is not only 4K, but it is 4 times zoom. So it's even more powerful than the Oswalt Tiny. And I've got it on my wish list for later this year that I will upgrade from the Tiny to the PTZ 4K. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that title off screen. And what we're going to do, quite daringly, is take me off full screen, hide the software, because I've shown you the software now, download it from Oswalt, and I'm going to switch on my second camera. So, one microphone, but on the left-hand side, you've got the Oswalt Tiny. On the right-hand side, you've got the Logitech Brio. Okay, so 2 cameras compared, and they're both improving. The software is upgraded, the firmware is upgraded, and they're both They're both my favorite cameras, has to be said. Okay, so I'm back on the Brio now. That was the Oswalt Tiny, and it is my favorite fun camera, and it's down in the carousel. And today it is 10% off. So you can get it for less than I paid for it. I'm happy with it. It is a fun camera. It's 720 1080p. And just to finish off, if I've missed anything, we've shown it's got motion mode. Well, my motion. It's got auto sleep mode, which I demonstrated by accident, I think. It's got a 2-axis gimbal, which means that's why it can pan, tilt, and zoom. And in addition to that, it's got a magnetic mount. So you put the mount on top of your monitor, and then once that's secure, then you put the camera on top, and it makes for a perfect fit. Yeah, you've got the camera on its mount on top of your monitor. It's totally secure. And even being secure, that camera, I'm going to come back to it now, that camera has 3 presets positions. Position 1, desktop. Position 2, me. Position 3, the wall. Okay, and that's the one we set up a moment ago. We've now got the Under Armour rucksack, and we've got the iPad stand. And back to me. Okay. And back to me. Right, so you've got 2 of me. You've got one of me on the Logitech Brio, which I talked about earlier in program 1. And in program 2, we've looked at the Oswalt Tiny, and we've looked at the need for the lapel microphone if you're out making mobile video. Now, in these broadcasts, which I'm doing, I just want to go up here for a moment. Let me go here. This is Lights Camera Action with Stephen Healy, and you're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. I'm just so proud to actually be on Amazon Live today, and thank you for spending time with me. If you have any questions about anything that's down in the carousel, click the link in the carousel to find out more. It opens up. Right, this is how the carousel works. Yeah, beneath me are 39 items that I own 75% of. So I can talk about them. I've used them. Yeah, that's why I'm here, to actually talk about the items in the carousel and to give you any advice on aspects of live broadcasting as well. Okay, mixture of both. I'm independent. I don't work for Amazon. I don't work for any of the companies down in the carousel. Yeah. Most of my colleagues are independent as well. We're here to help you, and we're a free service on Amazon.live, and it's a win-win situation. Yeah, everybody wins. We're happy to be on Amazon Live, the world's 3rd largest website, Amazon.com, and Brit on Amazon.com. I am chuffed, which is an English way of saying I'm rather pleased. Okay, now, remember that the Logitech C920X camera that's down the carousel now, okay, comes with 3 months of XSplit VCAM background removal software, and I've got a license for XSplit VCAM, which I've had for 3 years now. I do an annual license. It gives me XSplit VCAM, XSplit Broadcaster, XSplit Capture, XSplit Presenter, 4 products in one. Absolutely wonderful software. So that's XSplit. Okay, so it's on with the carousel. We've talked about, if I go to the 2 cameras again, just forgive me for a moment. I'm going to move the second camera so it's actually on preset location 1. Okay, and I'm going to swap round. Okay, so that I am over here, or perhaps not. Okay, I've frozen, haven't I? Just a minute. I think my second camera froze. That's one reason for having two cameras in a broadcast. Okay, so on Neil Tiny. We've talked about Elgato Wave. I'm just going through the carousel, see if there's anything on discount today. And I want to close on this. Okay. Down in the carousel is something that keeps me fit. And it is the Fitbit Inspire 2. Staying fit, especially after 2 years we've had, is important, and we can now go out and about, and the most amazing thing we can do, we can step out of the front door and go for a walk. Now, if you walk around your house and don't go out the front door, yeah, then you're walking between 3/4 and 1 mile a day. As soon as you go out of the house and start walking, that's when you're getting fitter and staying fit. This is the Fitbit Inspire 2. I have been using Fitbits for the last 8 years. This is my 4th one. I change every 2 years because the technology improves. This is the Inspire 2. This is the bracelet it comes with, the strap. You can get designer bracelets with it. Okay. This is $86.49 today, which is 14% off. Again, less than I paid for it, but I've had nearly 2 years use out of this. The idea of this is that it actually measures the number of steps that you do a day. Now, I've set it so that I try and do 4 miles a day, which is 8,000 steps. And if you do 4 miles a day, then you actually stay fit. Okay. The job of this little unit is to measure the steps that you take. Excuse me. To measure the steps that you take and record them, because this is part of an ecosystem. Fitbit are owned by Google, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to Fitbit.com now. So I'm just setting up something in the background. If I could type, it would come up a bit quicker. Okay, so I'm going over to Fitbit.com. And I'm going to show you my Fitbit, because this is part of an ecosystem. Okay. The first thing you do when you get this Fitbit is you go to Fitbit.com and you register it. So you've got the warranty. Yeah. But then the second thing you do is to join the Fitbit community on Fitbit.com. It's free to join. This Fitbit Inspire does not have a subscription. Everything I'm about to tell you now, no extra charge, free. Everything I'm going to show you is free because you bought. I'm just going to go to my account. You actually bought the, just let me log in. I'm logging into my Fitbit account, and hopefully in a second, if the tech gods are smiling on me, then I'm onto my Fitbit. I don't want you to see any of the advertising because when I'm live, I just want you to see my account. I'm sharing my account with you, and we should be there in a second. I got my desktop. Okay. So that took a few seconds while you could actually look at it, and you can see it's actually working because the light on the back. I charge this every 5 days or so. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my desktop with Fitbit.com. Okay, so I'm bringing it into my studio, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to bring it full screen. This is Fitbit.com. You've registered for your warranty, and you're now a member of Fitbit.com. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, not two of me. I'm going to hide, and I'm going to go picture in picture so you can actually see this. I'm going to shrink myself. We're still talking about Fitbits, but we're talking about what you get for free once you bought a Fitbit. The Fitbit is the key to health, Okay, I can say that because it keeps me fit. The other thing it does is its community. Top left-hand corner, you can see a picture where it's talking about the Fitbit community, and you can make friends. Everybody who's on the community is a Fitbit user. Yeah. And basically you join the community, you connect with people, and I take part in 2 weekly challenges, which are free. One is the weekday challenge, Monday through Friday, and then the weekend challenge, which is Saturday and Sunday. The idea of the challenge is simple. You're in a ladder. Okay, everybody volunteers to join, no conscriptions, you all volunteer. And the idea is who can do most steps during the week or who can do most steps at the weekend. So I'm never going to be at the top or the bottom. I try to be somewhere in between. The thing about it is, though, one of the things about exercise is you actually want somebody to encourage you. Now, your partner and your family will encourage you, but you need a little bit more. That little bit more is Fitbit.com. Because the people who you've joined the challenge with cheer you on. If you go out the front door and you do a 3-mile walk, it's recorded on Fitbit.com and people will cheer you and encourage you. So this is your support group for staying fit. And did I say, excuse me, it's free. Yeah. You buy a Fitbit and all this is on Fitbit.com and it's all part of you buying a Fitbit. To actually just wear the Fitbit, okay, but join this and you're in. Now, you can actually on the website log how you slept. If you wear your Fitbit to bed to sleep, sorry, this Fitbit, then it will monitor your sleep. And it will show you a graph of how long you slept, when you woke up during the night, when you were restless during the night, when you were in REM state during the night. It will monitor your sleep. Monitor your sleep for 4 days, and it will then make recommendations as to how you could improve your sleep pattern. So it monitors your sleep. And it's very useful information as well. The next thing is that, as you can see, it tells you, sorry, I meant to go this way. It tells you how many steps. No, wait a minute. It tells you how many steps you've actually done in a day. 60,000 steps in a day is the most I've ever done. Okay. And I have done 67,000 steps in a day. Because I enjoy walking marathons. I walk 26 miles, 385 yards, wearing my Fitbit. And on the day that we did the Sarsen Trail, this is the medal for actually walking 26 miles, 385 yards, which I can only bring out when I talk about the Fitbit. So I like to show my Stonehenge to Avebury medal for doing 60,000 steps in a day, 26 miles, 385 yards, legitimately 3 miles because I took a detour. So Fitbit.com actually measures your successes. Yeah. And it's brilliant. I'm going to keep the medal on. Okay. You can also put in a weight goal, and I want to lose another 3 pounds. And you can track your weight as often as you wish. Okay. So weight tracking is part of it. You can also keep a food diary. Okay. Everything I'm telling you now is free. You bought the Fitbit. You get the food diary. You can keep track of your food and you can talk to people in the community about using Fitbit for tracking food. Now, at the beginning of 2022, my partner Angelica suggested that we walk every day of 2022. In other words, we go out the front door and we go for a walk. So every single day walking. Now, it could be 1 mile, it could be 3 miles, it could be 10 miles. Okay, but the idea was that you go out every day. Weather doesn't matter, but you are allowed 15 days off during the year. And if you're ill, then you obviously can't go walking. Yeah. So with that, let's go back to this chart here. And you can see that with the exception of today, I have been exercising every day. My exercise generally comes after this. After I've been live on Amazon Live, I'll be out in the garden. Further down the page, again, I've got to emphasize this is all free. It shows you your activity. Okay, and now yesterday I did not too many steps, but I am consistently doing something every day. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the last 30 days, exercise each day. And the important one to me is this one, which is how many miles have I walked this year wearing my Fitbit? And the answer is, as you can see at the bottom there, I've done 873 miles wearing my Fitbit. Okay, my aim, my personal target is to do 1,000 miles in a year. Okay, I just need to up my game, as we all do probably. But if I up my game, then I can get the 1,000 miles. If I get the 1,000 miles, I'm staying fit. Now, everything that I've shown you, everything I've shown you is centered around the Fitbit. And I put it back on my wrist now because I don't want to miss a step. Fitbit for the win, really. It is a way of keeping fit. And if I go picture in picture again, then they'll go there. Yeah. Fitbit is a way of life. For $86.49, you can give yourself a gift. You can give a family member a gift, a friend a gift. This is the gift. I'm going to suggest this. I'm going to be cheeky. This is the gift to give people for Easter. Yeah. Brilliant time to actually start an exercise regime of just walking every day and using Fitbit.com to actually track your progress for free. Everything I've just shown you is totally free, no extra charge. Fitbit is backed and owned by Google, and I wouldn't be who I am, literally, unless I'd been using a Fitbit for the last 8 years and it keeps me fit. Okay, this has been a wonderful afternoon. It's afternoon in the UK. You've been watching Lights, Camera, Action with Stephen. That's what it says there, live from England. It's my pleasure to broadcast Amazon Live. I want to say thank you for spending part of your day with me. I'm live again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. In fact, I'm live every weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. I love being on Amazon Live. I love the fact that you come and watch me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a brilliant day. Take care. And I will see you again soon. Goodbye for now.